Hello, friends. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, welcome, welcome. This is Marina Shepelsky, and today is a historical day in U.S. history and in the history of our lives. I'm streaming on the next day after one of the most important elections in U.S. history here. This election was a historical one because, in many ways, uh, people saw this as not just the battle between the Democratic and the Republican Party, but the two parties have gotten so far from each other and the core values that this day has been seen by many Americans as the battle of good and evil, and we will see what happens, right? So, for many people, they stayed up the whole night. Good morning to Fras High, and please post in the comments if you were surprised about what happened and what your thoughts are on this election as I talk about it with you guys. So this way, it's a two-way conversation, and I'm not just talking to myself in the camera here. And I will continue to say hi to you as the show goes on. So, if you are around any kind of social media, if you had the news on this morning, of course, you know that the Republican Party swept United States and America had chosen Donald J. Trump to come in for the second presidency. Yes, it's true. Trump won. Again, Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. As an American citizen and a taxpayer for 34 years, but also as an immigration attorney, and I have been an immigration lawyer for the last 30, I've been a lawyer for the last 21 years, but, I've been living here for 34, and we have seen many presidents already come and go. I have very conflicted feelings and different types of feelings about this. And you guys know, if you've been watching me, hi to Eitan, how are you? Limber says hello, Miss Marina, good morning. Drop me a comment about what you think of this election. If you're happy, if you're sad, if you're ecstatic, if you are like disappointed. Tell me what you think happened in this election, and we will talk about it. But I'm personally not surprised because this election was an interesting phenomenon. So we saw that, as somebody who believes in democracy, the media, not unrightfully so, for many reasons I understand why they acted this way, but for the last year, the media has butchered Trump, has talked about nothing but how much they hate Trump, how he's a fascist, he's so bad, Trump is bad, Kamala Harris is good. Despite all that, regular Americans voted and chose him. They chose this bad guy that supposedly the New York Times and Politico and the Guardian and Washington Times and every other type of media has tried to tell us is so bad. You know, um, on the one hand, maybe it's true. Maybe he is bad, and we definitely know he's not going to be great for immigrants. But on the other hand, if this is a true democracy, we should have been able to have more of a fair representation in the media. And the problem with the Biden presidency, although we did see a lot of improvements in the immigration area, a lot of big problems were not solved. We still don't have an amnesty, right? We still don't have an amnesty. They could have done that, but they didn't. They opened the borders, but they still didn't come up with a great way for people across the border to get asylum. Asylum remains as difficult as ever to win in the United States. There hasn't been another way to legalize other than asylum or marriage to a US citizen for many people. And the attempt to do this parole in place for spouses of US citizens who've been here over 10 years was immediately taken to court, and there was a lawsuit filed by Texas and 16 other states, and it's now stuck in court, just like DACA. DACA is also stuck in court. So uh, the Biden presidency was, not the best presidency for Americans. We saw inflation, and many people are saying, well, look, the president doesn't control the rising gas prices. The president doesn't control the rising prices of eggs and meat and food and groceries. But for some reason, I feel that as a leader of a free nation, the president should be worried and trying to do things to control things like that. And the Democratic Party made a big mistake picking Biden to run for a second term. This was the mistake. I don't blame Kamala Harris, who had to step in like August and substitute for an obviously, unwell person, Joe Biden, right? I don't blame her. She had to come in August and create this campaign in the middle of another campaign for another person. And Biden was quite a different candidate from her. He was very experienced in politics. He already had one term under his belt, and she was not as experienced as him, a more or less recent senator from California, and she had some issues of her own. But on the other hand, she is half immigrant. Her mother was actually, she's, I think, fully immigrant. Her parents were both immigrants. A woman of ethnic mixed background. It would have been interesting to see her win, but most of America did not think so. All right, we have to live with that, and this is the problem with the liberal media of the United States. They're not in touch with like the average American. And America is different depending on where you go. If you're in the Northeast where I live, it's mostly Democrat and liberal. But this election showed almost a 50-50 split. People are very divided. On the other hand, you go to the West, you go to the South, you'll see a whole different ideology. And I feel that Trump really did a good job making people believe that he's going to bring back the kind of peaceful and good times when he was the president the first time, and blaming Democrats for all the problems in the world for what happened after he had lost the election. So we will see. Somebody is asking me on Instagram if I know Trump personally. I really don't know him personally, but I can say that he was my favorite for this election. And I actually can't even say that she was my favorite, but it is what it is. America had voted. People voted a lot in this election, men, women, young adults. You have to be U.S. citizen to vote, by the way. This is a really good lesson. I kept talking about it. A lot of Americans are happy. Christina, psychology is saying all Americans are so happy. Not true at all, Christina. Maybe in your feed, because again, remember, social media sees what you like when you're watching. They will keep giving you more of that. So people are sort of stuck in their own algorithm. If you're only watching Republican news, you will only see people in your feed who are happy about this election. If you're watching Democrats and the Democratic stuff, you will only see people who are unhappy in this election. I'm in a lot of different groups, and I am seeing both. Some people are very happy and saying, thank God bless America, and stuff like that. And other people, especially in the immigration lawyer groups, are so upset. They're grieving, they're heartbroken. A lot of people in the immigration attorney groups are saying they're going to leave practice immigration law. It's going to be so hard to be an immigration lawyer. And guess what? I'm not leaving. I'm in this for the long term, you guys. I'm not leaving you. I'm staying. I'm firmly staying. We survived other presidents. We have survived one term of Trump. We will survive another. Remember, there's many organizations and lawyers out there fighting for equality, fighting for immigrant rights. We will keep on fighting, no matter who is the president. But I do want to say in this live that if you thought about filing for asylum, filing for a T visa is for people who, like at their job, they're being exploited, taking advantage of. If your boss didn't pay you, if you thought of filing for a T visa, Obama, or like a marriage case or asylum, and you've been putting it off, don't put it off anymore. That's what I've been saying for a while now, and today I'm going to make very, very clear. if you have been putting off something, don't put it off. Now is the time to have a lawyer look at your situation and give you an honest opinion. We're here to help. We're here to do consultations. Yes, it's paid. Yes, it's going to cost you money, but just think about it. Has anything in your life that's good and worth anything ever been like, no, not worth investment? It's always been worth investment. Investing in the future in the United States is going to cost money. Our consultations are paid, but not everybody's are. Filing for a case will cost you, but that's the price you pay for having a lawyer and his team on your side who pays attention to you and knows what's going on in your case. Mani Kumar says, "Good morning, Marina." Let's see some of your comments here. Um, Limber says, "Miss Marina, good morning." Marcella says on YouTube, "No surprise that Trump won. Was expecting the result as his superhero never stopped campaigning for him, while Democrats barely had a candidate a few months ago." I agree. I agree that you were saying, Marcella. And interestingly enough, Republicans won most of the swing states. Now, why are swing states important? You knew, and if you're an immigrant, you're still learning about the American election system. Most states like New York has always been a Democrat. New Jersey's usually a Democrat. Texas is always a Republican. California is always Democrat. Arizona has always been Republican. So those states are like established, and we can predict and know how those states will vote. But some states are swing states, and they're unpredictable. They change their vote depending on the candidate. So states of Pennsylvania are swing states, and the fact that Trump overtook Pennsylvania, in fact, that's where he was. There was an attempt at assassinating him in Pennsylvania. That speaks to you that his campaign was much more effective. He convinced people to give him a chance again, and there you go. Mani Kumar says, "Thank you and your team. This is all possible because of you." Thank you, guys. I expect things will get worse for immigrants. I prepared like a whole list for you guys to go through what to expect if he gets elected. So let's get through this today. I did a whole article today where I like thought about it. I sat for a good hour and wrote it. So the focus of our lives and all of my work is U.S. news, U.S. Policies, but the focus is on immigration. So, what policies can we expect for U.S. immigration during Trump's second presidency? Okay, number one, mass deportation. Yes, I do think that there will be sweeps for people who never filed for anything, who are just sitting here illegally. And unfortunately, a lot of people from countries like Mexico, Peru, El Salvador have come and gone through the border more than once, more than twice sometimes. This is not the same issues that like the people from Pakistan or Africa are experiencing because they just have to come to the border and come through. People who live near the border, they tend to go back and forth and they're undocumented. And so I do think there will be deportations for those people. I think he's going to keep building the wall at the border. I think asylum will be much harder to prove, and there's going to be a return to what we saw during the first term, where you had to prove asylum, that the government was almost like directly persecuting you to win asylum, right? It's been a lot better, since then, but I think we'll see a return to that, and this will next. But you have to see the direct connection between what happened to you in your country and the government persecuting. I think PG or prosecutorial discretion will be over. And I don't think the judges and the Department of Homeland Security attorneys, like kind of the district attorney equivalent in immigration, are going to be agreeing to close out, dismiss, terminate, finish, and cancel people's court deportation cases. I think that's not going to happen anymore. The deportation cases will proceed no matter what. Okay, there's going to be no more federal enforcement priorities that we saw during Biden's time, where ICE was not really into just deporting everyone undocumented. They were more focused on only deporting people with immigration deportation orders, people with criminal history, and people who don't necessarily have U.S. citizen and green card holder relatives. That's out. I think they're going to try to deport anyone and everyone they find. Perhaps using the military, both the state and the federal military, to help with the protection. Maybe. Building detention camps, I don't know about that one. Maybe. Okay. Revoking TPS, temporary protected status. Yes, I see that happening. And I think they're going to tell people to leave who've been here under TPS for 15 years or whatever, or 20 years. There's a lot of people like that out there. And I think they're going to be selective which countries they will do this for. So I think that perhaps a white country like Ukraine will not get their TPS terminated. But Haiti, I think Haiti will lose TPS. My personal opinion, this is just me thinking out loud and talking to you guys. Tell me that I'm wrong, I might be wrong. I don't know. I'll talk to you about this. Reinstating travel ban. No travel from countries that have predominantly Muslim populations, especially countries that have like radical Islam on the loose. Expedited removal without much court hearing or due process, I think, especially at the borders, and there will be encouragement to ICE to violently turn people away. Like people at the border, they will be beating them and pushing them away, maybe even using weapons and unaliving them. That's right. And revoking DACA. I don't think DACA is going to survive this president. We'll see what happens. The bottom line here and the lesson is do not remain undocumented if you can avoid it. Try to talk to a lawyer, schedule a consultation. All of our information is on the bottom of the screen and in our profile. But, you know, it's up to you. Your life is in your hands. But my recommendation is to file for what you can. So Vlad Song says, will Trump win damage Ukrainians immigration? I don't know yet. I don't know about the TPS Ukrainians. Perhaps this April, the Ukrainian TPS will probably be renewed, I think. But countries like Haiti, I don't know. So the question is from Young Jedi, is this live stream about politics or immigration? The fact that you're asking me tells me you don't know what I'm about, what this whole platform, this channel is about. I always talk about American politics, and we always talk about how this affects immigrants. But since a lot of people watching are immigrants, they're learning about this as they're living their lives in this country. Because when you become citizens, you guys watching, you need to know what's happening in this country other than just thinking about immigration and your own interest, right? This election showed us for the first time like in the last 35, 40 years, the Miami-Dade County, that has a lot of immigrants, a lot of Cuban immigrants, Hispanic immigrants, Russian immigrants, voted for Trump. Okay, the immigrants in Miami voted for Trump. They usually vote for Democrats. They voted for Democrats for the last like almost 40 years. The fact that they voted for Trump last night, yesterday, shows what's going on in this country, and I think you guys should hear about it, okay? I think you guys should know about it. I'm sorry I'm talking about politics, but I'm not just here to answer your questions. I'm here to inform you guys about what's happening. Guapo says, good morning, Madam Marina. Should undocumented immigrants with no criminal record get super worried about our new president? Yes, I think you should be worried. I think that you should talk to a lawyer about starting an asylum case or maybe starting a T visa case or a U visa case and, just start something. Young Jedi says, in my opinion, even though if you have no criminal record, still awaiting adjustment or asylum, it will not be easy to ask for everyone. Choose a better category. I think it's going to be hard for everyone, including legal immigrants. But at least if you have legal status, pending asylum, you're better off than just walking around with no paper. And if you've been spending money on other things, understandably, Understandably, you have a life, you have more important things to worry about than being an immigration lawyer. Now is the time to change your opinion and change your mind. Now is the time to invest paying an immigration lawyer and getting yourself legalized. I'm being straight. This is what I'm telling my family and friends, same as I'm saying on the screen. My husband agrees with me. My whole family thinks the same. If you've been thinking about legalizing, you can't afford, not only money-wise, you can't afford to wait. You need to start legalizing right now. Vincent King says, can somebody be deported by Trump if he or she already filed for asylum? No. And this is it. If you already filed for asylum, they're not going to deport you because you need to have a hearing, and Trump is not going to do away with the whole asylum system. The asylum system is here to stay and to protect you. Okay, I will get to your questions. I know that Marcella, not Marcella, sorry, uh, Molina has a question, but I'm not just here to answer questions. I'll get to it. Okay. Also, nothing I say here is meant to be legal advice. This is an entertainment show. This is an information show. This is an education type show. This is for you to understand the issues we're all dealing with. Sultan is saying congratulations, Mr. Trump, for winning the election. Steve, um, Tasneem says, will he change? Will Trump change the rules on birth tourism? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to change. Tasneem also said, what is the policy Trump will take on immigration? I think I just discussed it. Tasneem says, I'm from Bangladesh. Hello, hello. Welcome to my show. Atif Jawad 111 says, Madam, please help me with my work visa. I can definitely help with the paperwork, but we don't look for sponsors for a work visa. Amber Ness says, I'm sad about the fact that a rape and a felon is going to be president. I sort of agree with you, but we don't know what's going on the other side of the fence either. And yes, I agree with you. I don't think that's the kind of person that we deserve to have as a candidate, but unfortunately, neither party gave us a good candidate. Neither Republicans, they could have picked someone else, but they picked Trump. Nor Democrats. Why did they pick Biden for the second term? Nobody knows. All right, let's get to answering your questions. Mr. Lee 27 says, I just got here. Will VAWA application be affected? I don't think so. I think VAWA will remain in place. Cheryl said, what about the VAWA cases that have not yet been submitted? Cheryl, there's nothing stopping you from submitting your case. You still have 2 months left. Give us a call to help you submit your VAWA case. Okay? Prince Chido says, can someone who already has a work authorization be deported? I don't think so, unless you have a crime. You're not going to get deported if you're in status and you have a work permit. The scene says it was a pleasure watching you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Zamsan Jenny says, I'm an international student studying in a non-STEM STEM degree, like non-science, technology, and math degree. Do you think I can apply for a green card after I complete my studies? You might be eligible for EB2 with national interest waiver, for advanced degree, or if you have an employer, maybe you won't need the waiver. You could just do like a firm EB2. Give us a call when you're ready and we'll see. F4 visa category, what is the time duration? It's for however long the program that the F1 person, student, is attending, right? So if it's a 2-year college degree program, it's going to be, the F4 is going to be for 2 years. Let's see some of your questions on YouTube. All right, Mani Kumar says, good morning, Marina. My I-485 USAS is requested a medical. Should I consider that as approved? What do you say about this stage? It depends. You've been waiting for a while, and your family petition or VAWA have already been approved for a while, and the only thing they need is a medical. You're very close to getting approved, but you're not approved yet. Just give it some time. They still might call you for an interview, although that's rare. most often you won't get an. Bernard says, I lost my Jamaican passport with the visa in it. I'm getting a replacement with the passport, but I won't have the visa in it. The new passport won't have the visa in it in December. Can I travel on a plane from state to state? US with just my passport without the visa in it? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes. Um, right. Okay, Molina Flooring Gallery. Hi, attorney. I was denied by the PIA. They denied the reopening and the appeal in my case. The Vivala case, we were faced with a determination letter in hand and biometrics was done. With this election affect my case, we asked for PD and waiting for results. I don't know if Trump wins, they're going to change the policy. There might not be any type of PD, even though you might win Vivala. With Trump in power, I'm not sure that you will be able to get anything. I'll be honest with you. You know? Um, I answered this. Monica Marcia, thank you very much to your team for your work. Thank you. Ibrahim says, I filed my VAWA 2 years ago. Is it too late now to add a new psychology evaluation and send it to USCIS? I don't think it's too late, but your psychology evaluation should say about your mental state up to the time you filed the VAWA. Okay? So the focus is not so much on your state right now because it's been 2 years already, but how your mental state was prior to filing the bond. Sam says, "Hi, ma'am. Have a good day, ma'am. Why not announce us for visa interview in December? So I'm about everything. Hard to say. I don't know why they didn't announce. Is there any hope for amnesty now? I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be any amnesty now, especially because this election is not just about Trump, it's also about senators and congressmen and Senate and House of Representatives are now Republican. This election showed a lot of elections for Republican candidates. They won across the board. Republican Party like swept in this election across the board. So no hope for amnesty in the next 4 years. I don't believe so. Ibrahim says, I filed my VAWA 2 years ago. Oh, yeah, so I answered this question. It's not too late to add the site eval, but make sure the eval will focus on what happened up to your file. Some more questions here from Instagram. Can immigrants with expired tourist visas travel by plane between states? Travel itself, I think, will be okay. I don't think they're going to start checking for your documents on the plane. But when you go to different places, you move around. God forbid you get stopped somewhere. You're really risking it, you know? Sam Jenny, can I apply for a green card through self-employment after I complete my degree studies in non-STEM? You can try. We can definitely talk about it. It's not the same for everyone. We should schedule a consultation and we can talk about this, okay? Um, Tasneem says, my brother, who's a citizen, filed for me. It's already for 8 years. Should I expect, like, when can I expect this case for visa? Right now it's about 14 years. So like 14 to 15 years. You already waited for 8. I'm thinking another 7 years or so. Vlad 137 says, how long does it take to get an asylum interview scheduled after filing the written mandamus or mandamus? Usually up to 2 months. This is a quick thing. When you file mandamus, that happens very quickly. Your asylum interview will be scheduled pretty quickly. Uh, do I think that Real ID is going to be reinforced in 2025? I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Raj Naik says, "Hi, ma'am. It's about a VAWA petition. I received a prima facie approval." By the way, prima facie comes when you filed your VAWA case and you filed the basics of what they require. They want to see joint documents. They want to see a story from you. They want to see proof of abuse, and they want to see proof of good moral character, like a police clearance. So if you do have all those, they will give you a prima facie or a preliminary early approval. That letter just allows you to file for benefits and stuff like that. Raviraj is waiting for his employment work permit filed in April. It's been 7.5 months. Sometimes it takes a year and 2 months to get the work permit. That's normal. And Manish says, "Hi, madam. I have a work permit. It expires. Well, it will expire next September, based on my VAWA case. And will I renew easily with the new government? I think that's not going to be a problem. Once you already have a status, your status is pending VAWA, pending green card. This should be okay to renew your work permit. It should be fast." Hey, John says, "Hello, good morning. Trump mentioned that he will give a legal pathway to people who have a bachelor's or junior college degree in US. Do you believe this will be a thing? What do you think will have to happen to be eligible?" I think that it can happen. I'm not sure if they're going to forgive people unlawful presence. So yes, it's for people who have American degrees, but I'm not sure that people will be forgiven for overstaying their visa or violating visas. Fiona says, "How long does it take to get a green card if you have a sibling who's an American citizen? Is it still about 14 years?" Yes, it is around 14 years. Yes. Um, Ravi Raj says, "Should I have to wait more?" Yes, you have to wait more for the work permit. You might have to wait another couple of months. If you like this video, by the way, feel free to give me a thumbs up to show me you like this video and subscribe to our channel. There will be more videos, more lives just like this. I do this every Wednesday. And this will be your thanks to me for answering your questions. I really appreciate it. Tasneem says, "Thank you. It was great watching you." But Bandaria Sham 555 says, "I'm an international graduate student in US. Nice to have you watch us. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much." Vlad 1K7 says, "Can I live with having lost my employment authorization if I have a copy of that card and an approval letter? Should I get a new one?" It's hard to say. I think if you lost your work permit, and this one was like for 5 years, which people who file for asylum now get a work permit for 5 years duration, I think you should replace it. I don't know if a can work. Okay. Ali Reza AM 1982 saying, "Is there any new ban until January? Like Muslim ban?" No, for now there's going to be nothing new because until January we still have President Biden, and I know we haven't seen much of it lately, but he's still the president, so no new bans until then. Fiona says, "Subscribe and like." Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Fiona says, "If you have 2 degrees in the US or your spouse, can you get a green card based on that with Trump?" We will see what Trump rolls out. There's no new discussions about that type of law yet, but I have a feeling that they're still not going to forgive and waive unlawful presence just because you have an American college degree. But we will see. We will still be able to see what happens. Okay. Fiona says real ID supposed to take place and start being active in May of 2025, and then you won't be able to even fly within the US without that. Maybe we'll see, but you can still fly maybe with a passport. I don't see that happening. We'll see what happens. It's too early to predict. All right, I think I'm going to wrap up here, guys. Thank you for watching. This was an amazing show, historical day. Watching this, and I'm doing this live on the morning after the election. We just all found out that President Trump is going to be a president again. And despite his felony convictions, despite everything, he's coming back. Fiona says thank you and we love you. I love you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Mohammed Sunflower says congratulations, America, on the new President Donald Trump. Hello, friend from Bashan. Everyone have a great week. We'll see what the future brings, and I hope for the best. I just want to say in conclusion, once again, we at my law firm, Shepelsky Law Group, the full name is the Law Offices of Marina Shepelsky, will continue to fight for immigrant rights, no matter who the president is. We will survive Trump. We'll survive whoever comes after him. We will keep using the law to do things in the right way, in the legal way, to legalize people, to get people green cards in the U.S., and end the suffering that so many immigrants are experiencing because our system is kind of effed up. It's broken. We need ways to legalize. I'm not sure it's going to get better under Trump, but I do think that we have to keep fighting. We can't give up. Okay, you guys, we're not giving up. I'll see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye bye.